The last map has arrived! It is Syrtis Major! We're continuing the theme of bloody red maps, and it looks like another Seraphim mirror matchup. Seen quite a few of those this tournament. This one will decidedly be the last. Okay, so on the left side, Nexus is going Land Factory first, and he is looking like a couple of mass extractors and then a Hydro for his build order, where on the other side, Ajax is queuing for 3 mass extractors with the ACU and Engineer over to the right. Looks like this is actually going to be a Hydro rush with all 4 mechas built, which is a little bit of an odd thing on Syrtis Major because that Hydro is a little far away to be comfortable. You're getting into it late in the game. Most of the time I see people building power generators on this side so that they can more efficiently get into their builds. But both of these guys are going for Hydro first, so maybe it is not such a bad idea. Gonna go Hydro, double P-Gen, second Air Factory for Nexus, and then this is gonna be an attack move order to the right so that he can get all of this reclaim up. And no, that is actually gonna turn into a manual reclaim order set. Lots of P-Gens out for Ajax, meaning lots of air factories later, if I had to guess at it, but you know that might not necessarily be the case because he could just be building it out so that bombers don't kill all of his lovely stuff. Same attack move order over to the side with the Engineer moving over to the expansion on the left. Now typically the ACUs will either move up to the front to secure the pass here or move over to the other side to secure the expansion. Of course, on Syrtis Major, technically your easiest path of expansion is over to the other side of your main base area because there's 3 choke points across the center and 2 choke points into the middle on each side. Drops are always a thing. Drops are extremely effective, and that is a hell of a long build queue for that Engineer. 5-minute ETA to edge build that factory on the other side. How much you want to bet that it will not make it, along with a little bit of manual reclaim on the way. ACU edge building a factory, maybe 2 factories here, and then he will be moving up to the front edge to guard the pass. The center pass for a certain amount of time will take care of itself due to the fact that there are a couple of T1 point defense in the middle. Now, this has actually been reduced. The team version of the map has way more in the middle, more reclaim, more point defense, all that good stuff. There is still a quantum gateway in the center, but not all of that other accessory stuff. Gotta edge your air scouts all the way around because if you fly over the middle, they will be flacked apart. So you don't want to lose your intel to such a dumb thing. It does look like Ajax is going for a second land factory, then a third, and then potentially moving up to the front line, but I'm not sure if that move order is actually queued for his ACU. Man, this tournament is getting to me. I can make it through though. It's only one more game. We'll do this thing. Sellen's coming out. That's going to gather a bit of intel for what all is going on around the map. First Interceptor flying out to this side in anticipation of a potential bomber coming from over here. Of course, you're going to want to send the bomber to the most exposed expansion first in order to kill off those engineers that are on their way. And yeah, that usually makes the most sense. So the Interceptor would be over on that side. Tanks moving in. Going to head around to the far left expansion for Ajax. Ajax getting tanks over, but only 2 in number. There's 2 on this other side too, so theoretically they should be able to stop it depending on the engagement and how the intel falls out. If the Sellen isn't lost, it can deal about as much damage as a lab over the course of time to the tank over here. So will be interesting to see how this side pans out. There is intel on that though. Nexus does have an air scout, so he's going to pull back his tanks and clump up, whereas Ajax has no idea what he's running into unless he sees the scoutages from this Sellen, and he does not, so he is going to blunder straight ahead into it. Might have a little bit of a deficient amount of APM there, but he is going to be able to pull back and maybe secure this expansion. Over on the right-hand side, little air win there. 2 interceptors killing an air scout. 2 interceptors on the opposing side as well. And we now currently have 4 land factories online for Nexus and 5 for Ajax. So Ajax getting through that early build very efficiently. He's about to put out his 6th land factory Looks like this is the only other land factory queued on the right-hand side, but there are 3, 4, 5 more on the left for Nexus. So Nexus is going to be a little bit OP at that side of the map, but we'll have to see how Ajax is able to move out. Half health Tham moving into the expansion on the left side. Might be able to pick up an engineer kill, but it is scouted, and there are 2 more tanks moving in that direction to secure it. Got 2 more tanks on this side. I don't think that those are going to be able to kill each other in passing, but it does look like Nexus is going to be taken advantage of. 2 tanks staying in range of his 1 for quite some time. What on earth is this micro? A 3rd tank moving up for Ajax. That is going to chase away the incursion. So roughly 50-50 map control, maybe slightly ahead for, not for Ajax, Nexus. Nexus has a couple more mass extractors claimed than Ajax does. So moving forward, he will have the economy advantage. His expansion was a little bit more efficient, so maybe this is one of his best maps, as Ajax was saying earlier. Both of these guys are even footing on score, though. So bear that in mind. Looks might be deceiving. Power generator still going down. There is so much reclaim on this map, it's ridiculous. Ajax dropping with a transport, going to be able to build with 4 engineers on this side. El Pronto taking care of that expansion post-haste, and a few more tanks moving up for the left side. However, there is a point of events building here. Once that finishes, that will pretty much deny any amount of Thams paired with those few that are present, unless a T1 artillery were to happen upon the scene, which is not entirely outside the realm of possibilities. Let's take a look at the eco as we're moving into the early portion of the game. 420 power, Nyuk for Ajax, and 35 mass income, 43 mass income, and 460 power for Nexus, who is quite a bit ahead. 3K reclaim versus 4K reclaim. So in other words, it's back to about even. That focus army -1 and go. Good dealio. The T1 point defense is now scouted. Scouted the hard way. Ajax losing a T1 tank in the process. Hydro will be claimed on that side, and it would appear that the center is going to go to Nexus. He's going to be able to reclaim that quantum gateway, doing some damage to Ajax in the process. Ajax falling back in the face of the superior unit numbers and the ACU bearing down on his commander. You don't want to stick in that even for the reclaim, because when you're outnumbered like that, all you're going to do is die. Nexus securing the rest of that mass, which is going to put him far, far ahead on his build. Transport dropping a group of T1 artillery along with a protective Tham. That's going to take out this Hydro and the engineers that were building it, potentially even locking this factory down in order to deny this expansion. That is a very strong drop for Nexus, who is also going to move over to the left-hand side and reclaim this engineer. No! Nexus is going to be caught. Ajax was faster on the draw, but the artillery is going to win out in the end over this factory. Maybe that Tham can be microed into a comeback, but we may never know. A successful drop on the south side as well, but not as damaging a one. There's only 4 Thams, which should be able to defend themselves against units coming out of the single land factory relatively effectively. However, they don't have the damage output or the ability to lock the factory that the Zooies do. So now we're going to see all of these units come in and respond and wipe that son of a gun out. A little bit of damage done, a little bit of time wasted, but overall, not the best. Got T1 tanks moving over. Those are going to wipe out all of the Zooies on that side. Having to search my brain for the proper words to put out there in front of you. Ajax moving his ACU over to the left in order to cut off this choke point. Hopefully he will be successful at it as his continual stream of units grows in strength, moving towards the south. I want to check out the economy once again, because Ajax is actually still ahead in score. We're going to see how much reclaim Nexus got. 8,000 reclaim, 53 mass per tick, 680 power versus 660 power, 45 mass per tick, and 7,400 reclaim. So not actually that far ahead, not even 1,000 mass. It was definitely worth it. It caught him up, but it was not utterly game-changing. ACU taking a little bit of unnecessary damage from some artillery fire right there. We will back out and come out ahead. Ajax, what are you going for as far as shenanigans go? You're getting a T2 factory, got some T2 power generators building, and probably going to go for some Ilshivas, but T2 engineers are the name of the game in the current situation. Maybe later on we'll see a T3 shift, might see that T2 skip like we've seen in a couple of games so far. This is exactly mirrored by Nexus on the south side. Got a T2 power up, now power building Ilshivas, so he is going for the strength of the T2 units. Looks like Ajax is flailing a little bit on the right-hand side. I'm not sure. He's diverting far more units to the left. So he's going to overpower Ajax on the left and lose on the right, but he should be able to recover quite easily. We've got a total of 8 T1 land factories, a second air factory going down, and now power building Ilshivas as well. Nicely done. So about 9 land factories total versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the T2. So exactly even on build power. Nope, 10. Right down there in the corner. Funny enough, how they came out to be almost exactly even. So we've lost the point defense here. T1 artillery has done its job, and now the tanks are going to be able to move into that expansion and secure it just as Nexus moves into the south side expansion as well. Which way are the Ilshivas going? They are going to the drops. 2 Ilshivas fitting in that T1 transport. It's going to drop it right over here in the center of this fray, hopefully to secure a better hold on the situation. Ilshivas and tanks loading up into the transport here as well, which is going to drop on the south side. So again, these opponents directly mirroring each other's moves as the map goes on. 23k to 22k score. We've got roughly even mass, reclaim, and power income, even tech levels. But here is something that is not the same. We have got a run by in the center. It would appear that Ajax forgot about putting units in the middle in order to fend off this kind of thing. We're going to have a successful raid right in the center of the base. Ilshiva coming in to try and secure this once again. A second Ilshiva in the rear. Not going to do a lot of damage. A single T1 mechs eliminated. A little bit of damage to a factory. No serious harm done. So the difference here would be that Ajax still is in control of one expansion. Nope. Never mind. Nexus has got both of his, and he's killed one of Ajax's. So overall, Nexus is going to pull ahead on that one. D2 Max would be another thing that I am curious about, but I see, yes, 3 upgrades completed, a 4th on the way. Looks like 4 completed for Nexus on the other side. So, economy advantage to Nexus. Nicely done. However, we are going to have another run by. This one is going to be in favor of Ajax, plowing under a couple more T1 mass extractors, eliminating this expansion, the same as Ajax did to him on this side. And he is going to be able to push forward and hopefully secure the choke as well. There's 2 Ilshivas on over here. They are going to be able to kill off quite a few T1 with the addition of a 3rd Ilshiva. That might be just too much for this side to secure. So unfortunately, Ajax is going to be halted at the pass, have to retreat to regather his strength. He is reclaiming like a madman with all those engineers over there. Let's actually take advantage of the breather and go take another look at the economy. Nexus at 55 income, 13,000 reclaimed so far with 1,020 income, 1,200 power income. Roughly the same in every regard from Ajax, except for the fact that he has got 72 mass income. How did he come out that far ahead? That is very, very strange. Let's go back and take a look. I'm going to key this up. And it looks like we've got an extra T2 mechs over here. No more upgrading, and he's doing a lot of reclaim at the moment. So that might have something to do with it. He could have been inconsistent reclaim that threw off the ticker 2 Ilshivas dropped on this side, which is going to be a rather devastating blow to this expansion. 3 Ilshivas being dropped by Ajax to try to pick up the slack, and he does have his commander in a good spot to intercept these units that are trying to move into his base, except that he is in the middle of an upgrade, so he's not going to be able to devote resources to that side quite yet. Nearing the end of it, though, he's already got T2. This is probably the gun. No, it is Nano. So I would assume he's moving gun next to get a fully fledged combat commander. Looks like a TAC missile up for Nexus. Oh, that is going to be nasty. Does Ajax have it scouted? I think not. He's not scouting towards the center. Yeah, he doesn't have it. This is not going to turn out well for him at all. T2 power generators are probably going to be the primary target, and he is already mass stalling like a mofo to get that gun upgrade done. But he is going to get it before the power stall takes him. Looks like Nexus is done. He's now power building that TAC launcher to get as many missiles across as possible, as quickly as possible, before Ajax can build a counter. Got several units leaking through on the south side, but that is not going to be a big deal. Still no scoutages over there. Still nothing queued. Has not even considered TMD. Here comes the first missile. This is going to be a rude awakening. T2 power. Oh! It hit an engineer instead of the power generator. Saved! That was so ridiculously lucky. Another one coming in, killing off the T2 mexes. Ajax was a little bit ahead on eco, so the mexes I don't think are as bad of a loss. If that power generator had been hit, that would have been devastating. TMD is not going to be in range of the forward mass extractors. He's going to have to accept those losses. Going back to assisting the T2 air factory. Looks like he is building Nothas. He did get out a T2 transport, though he will be able to ferry units around with great effectiveness, but he's also behind overall in air. There's a lot of interceptors on this side, so things could turn a little bit nasty depending on how this goes. Ajax does have the fully upgraded combat commander with 1 veterancy. He's got 18,000 HP on almost 100 regen. Seeing Nothas come in now, going for the T2 power. I'm sure going to get 1 bomb out. It is not going to be enough. Need 2 to get that kill secured. Oh no, oh no, this might get it. The interceptors were miskeyed. He's got no intel. Notha flinging a bomb out in front, turning hard, and there goes the T2 power. Looks like he's going to hover over and maybe try to hover bomb. Interceptors moving to the south side, I know not why. ACU abandoning the quest for the T2 transport. T2 transport going over to collect some more Ilshivas. Looks like the Nothas are going to try to kill friendly, or foe Nothas. Going to be successful at it as well. And that second T2 power generator is not going to be lost. So the T2 engineer went to the front to try to build that TAC defense and secure the base. Meanwhile, air is going to be completely lost for Ajax with that immense amount of interceptors just wiping his across the floor, out of the sky. Not good at all, not good at all. And he's already got the T2 transport loaded, so he may be able to get this somewhere good. He might be able to drop it around the north side, but I just don't know. ACU going to wade into the front line at full strength. Loaded up on HP, on regen, but not on intel. So he's going to build his own T1 radar, which hopefully doesn't die immediately to the T1 artillery that is right there. No, it is not. Plant an overcharge in the middle of those engineers, why don't you? That would be some easy vet. Units coming in to back him up, and Nexus is on the way. He does have T2 and gun, but he does not have the nano regen, so he's 6,000, 5,000 HP short of the enemy commander, and is not going to have that immense overpowered regen. 86 regen versus 20. Yeah, he's toast if he gets in range. Noth is moving around the outside edge. No, that transport full of Ilshivas that never moved is now going to get knocked out of the sky. Ajax moving straight ahead. He might just try to kill the ACU straight up here. Looks like we've got T2 bombers moving in. Ajax executing a pincer movement with all of his units pouring through the center. The question is going to be, can the Nothas deal enough damage to this commander quickly enough to ensure its demise before Ajax rips these armies to shreds and takes the win? Looks like Ajax is going to be forced through some dances as the pathfinding is screwed with. Notha's missing the drop there. Of course, their low area of effect, a bad weakness against ACU sniping. Ajax and Nexus hugging tight. 14,000 HP, substituting for gunships so that hopefully he will not be able to dodge out of this damage. 10k HP versus 11. 9k HP versus 11. We're seeing an 8. Paused everything for overcharge. Very accurate assessment from Zlo. We've got 52 to 6. Oh, the HP is falling fast. This is going to all come down to how quickly he dies. 5,000 HP, 1,000 left, 4,000. Can he secure the mutual? And Ajax picks up the win. That is beautiful. Nexus, really now? Really? 2,000 HP, secured another pair of veterancy off of that kill. Brilliant play on both sides. That is going to be a win for the tournament. Ajax wins the avatar that has been floating around on the bottom side of the screen this entire time. He gets the cash prize for the tournament. And Nexus, Ajax, and what was the other person who lost the other round of the losers? Nexus of Reality and Ajax traded blows for the entire time there. I guess it is going to be Winston Smith who gets the third slot for the Legend of the Stars tournament. That, folks, is going to wrap up qualifier number 2 for the LOTS tournament. That is going to wrap everything up for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like and share it with someone. If you want to support the channel, catch the streams, or join the Discord, check out the links in the description. Thank you all for being at least partially insane, and I will see you in the next one.